You are living next to a drug lord, you know. Living next to a drug lord. The police came and took down this unit down, and now they are interviewing, they're talking to me. I said, oh, okay. Do you know the owner of the unit? I said, I know, it's an old uncle.
Property scams in Malaysia. Some people say Malaysia is the heart of scammers. And then the property sector is also not safe from the scammers. So today in LT Property Insights, we will be talking about how to spot scams, what are the different scams right now in the market, and how can you as an investor, as a property buyer, be safe in the market. So LT, share with us, what are some of the top scams that you have witnessed so far recently in the market?
Oh, okay. One of the biggest scams that has the most volume in our real estate market in Malaysia is the rental market. I think the rental market, if you look at it, because we do have so many properties, especially condos and high-rises, that's available for rent. And these places eventually became drug kitchen, became places where for scammers to dwell as their offices. Okay, there is, okay, like just now you mentioned, Malaysia is the heart of scammers. I would dare to say I agree with that, because in Malaysia it's the only country in the ASEAN region that you can run away and get yourself out of danger, okay, to pay your way out when you get caught. So this is something that we all have known, and that is why those places, the people, these scammers and all these criminals choose Malaysia to do such things. And yes, I wouldn't say that the police force is bad in Malaysia. Of course, they are the good ones, but the majority is still in a big mess, which is why there are people who are able to leave the country even though they have done wrong in Malaysia. And many of them came to real estate agents to rent properties, which is the condominiums and houses and whatsoever, telling the agent that they want to rent for their own stay. And I want to rent like 4, 5 units or 7, 8, 9 units, 10 units. I've seen such inquiries, I've seen such agents doing such deals. So they will eventually get cash deals out of it. They rent the property at a very overpriced rental, okay? And the profile of the tenant is just for stay. So this particular agent who did this business for these scammers will get a very good payout. And the owners will think that, oh wow, suddenly such a joker come and pay me such high price, I thought my property price increased. So they rent out to them. Okay, and then eventually when after a year or 2 or 3 years, the place was busted. Okay, the police that do their job busted the place. Then only they found out actually it was a scamming office. Yeah, the scamming office. So there are a lot of places that has got caught with this. And actually, in fact, some agents, the negotiators or the real estate agents, do know who they are renting it to. But they play a role as an agent to not know and just rent out the property to the tenant for the owner, and he gets a good hefty payout, and eventually doesn't care about the tenant. When the police takes his report, they said there's nothing, I don't know, they told me they want their own stay. So eventually that property this is part of the scamming of real estate agents, and there's no proper profiling of the tenant itself. Yeah, so this is one thing that has been became one of the major issues of our country. And besides that, how did it turn into a drug trafficking kitchen? I once was staying in Subang Jaya in my own condominium. I didn't know that I was living 2 years next to a drug trafficker. And a Nigerian guy. There was one day I woke up. There was one night I was watching movie. Then in the bedroom, I heard sounds from upstairs, like as though somebody was moving furniture. Okay, a lot of stompings and moving. So I thought, what happened? So I didn't care because it was just only 15 minutes. Then I didn't have any sound. So the next morning I woke up, I went out for my unit. I saw outside my condo bench, I was staying in a 1,600 square feet condo, quite a big one. So my walkway was quite big. So I saw a police officer with a forensic uniform there, lying down on my bench. So I thought, what happened? Why got a police officer lying down there? Then I went and see further in front. Wow, so many officers walking in and out of my neighbor's unit. Then I went and see, I go and take a peek. Oh, I saw the door also was taken down. The grill was broke and the main door, wooden door, the fire door was entirely taken down. So I thought, what on earth happened? I was leaving to this, next to this two Mongolian girls, actually one Mongolian girl. And she's always wearing very sexy. And then she was also having a boyfriend, which is a Nigerian. So the Nigerian guy is always very chill. He always say, hi, brother, hi. They say hi. We always meet in the lift. He's always with all his gold chains. So I didn't know what was it. I thought this is normal tenants or expat, because that condo is like an expat condo. So yeah, we lived there. And then I was thinking what happened. Then I didn't care. I thought somebody died or what. Okay, then I went down to the lift. Then I saw the chairman at the ground floor. The chairman was a friend of mine, the condo committee chairman. So I said, hey bro, what happened? You never hear what happened? I said, what happened? What are you doing? You are at home or not? I said, yeah, at home. You never hear the whole night what happened? I said, what happened? Tell me lah. Then he said, hey, you are living next to a drug lord, you know. Huh? Living next to a drug lord? The police came and took down this unit down, and now they are interviewing, they're talking to me. I said, oh, okay. Do you know the owner of the unit? I said, I know, it's an old uncle. So eventually I helped the chairman to call the owner of the property. The uncle, a very old retired uncle. I told him your unit was ransacked by the police when they took down the unit, and then your gates all put charged. And the owner said, oh, what happened? He was like really stunned. So he came and see his property. Right? So then came out in the newspaper the next following day that my neighbor was caught with 85 kilos of ketamine pills. Oh, that was a big drug lord kitchen. So yeah, so eventually, how did these units all became such things? That is again, the tenant profiling is not done properly, and of course the police was at the condo doing surveillance for 2 weeks, and finally only raided the units. Actually, that was not only the kitchen; it was actually a distribution center. According to the police, that my neighbor was distributing drugs using post-Malaysia, Citylink, and all this high courier service, DHL, things like that.
During that time, the 2 week surveillance, did you notice anything?
No, we didn't. So the police did quite a good job. I think in terms of getting things done in Malaysia, our police force is quite strong. It's just that after that, enforcement of our law to make them go to jail or not, that part, I think, I also have some police friends. They also mentioned that every time kita sudah tangkap, then we hand over to the courts, then we don't know what happened. So that is the part. I think the police in Malaysia is quite efficient. They have done their part, but the enforcement of the law is another issue. The police can't handle their part. So coming back to what we speak about these scams, Malaysia, after all these rental scams and things like that, I think in recent times I also went to the police station. Our Malaysian commercial crime departments are very, very busy nowadays, because not only the crimes has moved towards cyber crimes and white collar crimes, but I believe there's a lot of property scams that are also in the market, whereby clients are duped to pay an earnest deposit to so-called lawyers who are also scamming people. Today, not only estate agents can scam people, lawyers also can scam people. Because lawyers who are not qualified, today you also have lawyers who are not lawyers opening lawyer firms. So yes, you pay money to the firms, and then your money got duped. You don't know where your money goes to, and then eventually it was supposed to be for property, but you eventually check the money is all gone. So real estate agents and lawyers, we can hold an account called a client's account. So yes, people did not do their checking due diligence, they pay to the agencies, and the lawyers who hold the client account, they misuse the client account. So that's the part where you get duped. Okay, and then you actually pay your earnest deposit without checking to buy a property in hope to get the property, and then you did not get it, and your money was forfeited, stating that you cannot conclude the property and so and so forth. There's a lot of these kind of issues in the market. So the only advice I can say, I can advise to consumers is that whenever you are paying for a property and earnest deposit, please do your due diligence on who you are paying to. You can pay to your lawyer do the checking, or if you are paying to the estate agent, please do your checking, or pay to your agency that you know. So you have to choose the right professionals to represent you in the dealings of real estate, because you're not buying vegetables. It's not a cash term you do in a market. It's actually a property which you are unable to bring it here and there. So you have to get the right people to do the due diligence. And I mean, there's one big case, an example of what has been turned from a real estate purchase turned into a murder. I think if all of us in Malaysia, we would know the case of Novel Development. Datuk Susila Wati was also my client last time. In fact, before she was murdered, I was speaking to her about 2 weeks on the phone in regards to the properties that she was trying to develop in Kota Damansara, the Exim projects. Novel Development was how Exim actually started off becoming a developer. The Lim brothers was actually working with Novel to do some joint venture products in 70 factories in Kota Damansara. That's how I got to know the Mr. Lim that time, and also this I called the Mr. Lim to market, and also Dato' Susila Wati back those days. So Dato' Susila Wati's case was a very famous murder case because it was her cars and the banker and the lawyer was parked right outside my condominium in Subang. So they went for the appointment in Banting, and the case was they paid over R1 million of earnest deposit to the lawyer in Banting, and they did not get the land. And then eventually they asked for the money to be returned. They went to meet up with the lawyer, and the lawyer, no matter how, don't know how, eventually brought them to the estate and murdered them. And you can't even see bones, can't even get the bones or flesh of the persons that was murdered. So this was a very big case that I think everyone knows. And I was quite stunned when this happened. And I think these are the things that we have to really check. That was a case where I think Dato' Susila Wati paid the R1 million to the lawyer, the so-called the seller's lawyer or somebody, introduced this lawyer to hold the deposit for her. But I think it's not really her lawyer. She was bringing her lawyer together with the banker and her driver in the car to go and meet this lawyer. But eventually all four was murdered.
Wow.
Yeah, this one was, I think, a very big murder case. You can also Google it. So you have to be very, very careful in all these, scams. This is part of scam also, and the scam turned into murder. So, because when it involves big amount of money, it involves a lot of human greed, and real estate can give you a very big human greed. So, when you come to property scams now in the newer market today, today the modern market, there will be a lot of people using online, because payment is so easily made today. It's either you do it online and people don't check whether the account is genuine. Yeah. So, and if you're paying cash, there is another way to scam you. It's harder to scam in those commercial or industrial or land properties, because those are people who are smarter. The majority scams are more into the residential market. The residential market, the project market, where people can take your money in and then taking a booking deposit in, but the booking deposit is like basically giving you no unit. Yeah. So the hype that is being created by these agents or these scammers are also smart, because they just want to create that environment for you to pay faster. Yeah.
So it's interesting to hear that even when it comes to luxury condominiums, it's not safe from the landlords getting scammed as well, and in fact, it may attract these more high level sort of scammers, drug lords, and all of that.
It's all about getting the right agent, right professionals to do your tenant profiling. Because when things are too good to be true, like I said, and suddenly somebody paying you such a hefty price away from your market value, you have to start checking. You can't be just, okay, I think my price has went up. It's all human greed.
Yeah. What's the liability on the real estate agents, the agency even, and the landlord?
Look,
when cases like this happen.
Liability is always the fact that the agent will always say that I don't know, the tenant is like that. When he told me the profile was like that, then suddenly go in, it's like that. You got caught at the time, they will try to clean their hands. And then for the landlord wouldn't know, they trust their agent. So there's no liability. So, but basically, if the police wants to bring in the agent, they have to investigate the agent. Okay? Now, these things happen because solely the negotiate our real estate laws in Malaysia. Likewise, we have a law. We are under the Act 242, okay? Valuers, appraisals, estate agents, property managers law act. But the fact that enforcing this act, enforcing the law, is a big issue. The police can't even enforce our act. Our act is basically enforced by the board, but they are not working along with the police closer to let the police penalize based on our act. Our act is not strong enough for the police to penalize. Okay? And majority of these agents, they don't know the law. In Malaysia, we have one license holder like myself, I'm a real estate agent. We can hold 50 negotiators. 50 negotiators which we're supposed to train and take care. Okay? But in this 50 negotiators, in fact, many companies out in Malaysia, they are not run by an estate agent like myself. Many estate agents like myself, they release their licenses, they rent out their licenses to the negotiators down there to operate the company. So when these people who are not trained to run a company, they go out and do a lot of hanky-pankies. Like example, they just want to earn money. So whenever they receive an inquiry, oh, I got somebody who wants to rent 10 units of condo for dwelling purposes or for they know it's for scam, but they can pay such a hefty good rental. They just rent out, they don't care. But as an estate agent, if we know that such inquiry coming in, you are supposed to defend your professionalism by not renting this unit out or not giving more problems to the owners when you rent out to such scammers. But how many of our professionals are ethical who thinks about that? And today, because of all the policies of leasing licenses, you see the big names now in the market, all the real estate firms that's in the market today out there. You name it, which one is actually run by an estate agent? The estate agents are leasing their licenses, blatantly doing nothing in the company, and letting a rent negotiator or some dupe CEO to run the show. And you see there's so many real estate agencies selling projects out there. You just search the CEO, they are not even a license holder. And this is the policy that we are having in Malaysia, and I would like to share to everyone. And this is the part where majority of our consumers are supposed to be educated to look for the right agents to qualify. But how many are doing that? And the board of valuers in our country is not doing enough to let the entire market know that actually you are supposed to go for registered agents and registered companies to estate agents to run your real estate operations.
So how can everyday Malaysians or investors look up whether a company is properly licensed and is actually run by a proper license holder?
Today, I think in Malaysia, you see real estate agencies in Malaysia. To be very honest with you, if you look at the structures, it's like an MLM game, a multi-level marketing company. I'm sad to say that I think, of course, you do see good companies that is in the market, such as people like Knight Frank, Ryan and Co. You say all these Savills, Colliers, all these valuation firms, and you come to real estate firms that is with a license holder running it, such as ours, such as many other agencies that is run by license holders. If you see the board of directors, you must see how many of the directors there are really a license holder operated company. Many are not. I wouldn't want to say names. I'll leave it to you to go and check it out. If you come and enter my training, of course, I will be able to give you the rightful ways of checking the companies. Yeah, how many of them are actually estate agents running the client's account? How many of them are actually run by the client estate agent? So this is the big question, where it all starts from the root of the cause. We are under the Ministry of Finance. Are they doing enough to make sure that the real estate market in Malaysia is clean and tidy? Only in Malaysia, we can lease our license for 50 space of negotiators. And in Singapore, you're talking about our nearest neighbor, who's also a country where it's running a certified estate agent. One certified estate agent has no boundaries of having how many negotiators, but it's very regulated by the Act. But Malaysia, we have an Act that holds 4 professions. Okay? Only in Malaysia, I believe, we have an Act that holds 4 professions. The valuers, that's appraisals, estate agents, and property managers. There's so much conflict of interest in this Act. Yeah, so it all down to the part where you come up this Act, the Act which is born in 1981. 43 years ago, which is now, I think, it has to be changed and amended. It has to be divided because the 4 professions are so different. It's no longer in 1981 where maybe there's a handful of valuers, handful of estate agents. So yes, at the time you can. You can't bind 4 professions into one Act. I don't think in the current modern world we should be able to do that. So yeah, when you have such Act, you have such bad enforcement, that's where scams come up. That's where we are a central intelligence of scams, because they choose our country to do so, because we do not have a law enforcement power to enforce the scammers, to bring them to jail. We don't have that.
So is there currently a movement to change the Act, or everybody what?
This one I don't know. I not to say what now, but actually we have mentioned this many times. I think there needs to be pressure to be done in the Ministry of Finance and the Board of Valuers. The pressure is not going to be done by me. I think you even have to board people now who, when you come to politics, I don't want to mention. It's not easy to deal with them. So we leave it to the market. If we have heard this out, if the board hears this or whatever not, we hope, we are practitioners, we hope that these things can be done in a much proper manner and be amended for the better of the country. If the country wants to move and excel to be a modernized country to compete with many big countries in the world, okay, all the major governments and companies in the world, yes, we have to learn from our mistakes and tweak. If we not, we will be forever a third world country.
Yeah. So you're already here in the market to help raise the bar of professionalism and
I can only do this much. You come for my education. I can only educate you as much as from my own experience and profession all these years to how to avoid being scammed, how to avoid yourself from being duped into all these kind of real estate matters. But of course, then again, education is very important. And when you're in the market with this education that we have given to you, you will be able to filter what is right and wrong when you come to this real estate industry.
So what would you say are the key principles for people to protect themselves from scams? They say, these are the top 3 things that you need to know to protect yourself from scams, to summarize.
Okay, top 3 things. I would say that first and foremost, the big D word, due diligence. Due diligence is not only as a purchaser or as an owner or as a landlord, as a tenant, but also as an agent. Even whenever I teach my negotiators or agents in my own company, CID here, to perform as a professional agent, agents need to do due diligence. What more, the landlord and tenant or the purchaser and buyer? When your due diligence is done correctly, you build a relationship, a trust. If your due diligence is not done correctly, you are playing with hope, then you are playing with fire. Then secondly, of course, you ask me, the best way to avoid this is to, of course, to get yourself educated by choosing to go for classes or go for mentorship programs to learn the right things. Choosing a mentor is very important. Don't choose one that asks you to buy so many things and then get yourself into trouble, which we have a lot of mentors doing that for the past 20 years. Okay, so you have to look for people who are ready to teach you. Teaching comes with a price. Yeah, a price. But of course, when you want to invest, you want to learn more, you want to buy a property, you can still ask whether, hey, this one is it okay. People can give you an insight or give you a thought for it, or sharing my advice will be the best, but not force you, hey, buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that. That should not be the way. Okay. And thirdly, you ask me, always listen to negative thoughts and positive thoughts, and do your own filtration and to know what is right and wrong, and to make a right decision after you have been educated. This right decision you want to make, you must always become the Mr. Information. What we call Mr. Information means talk to more people. Don't make a decision because you listen only from one. Of course, if you have been educated by me, you want to actually make a decision after I've taught you. Yes, it's good, but I will still ask you to speak to 2 or 3 person and listen to what they say.
Always
To
have a second opinion.
always to have a second, third opinion to make sure to know whether are you making the right decision. And market research is very important. I think the third thing I would like to say is market research. Mr. Information, market research.
Okay. So the big D, due diligence, getting educated, having the proper mentorship, guidance, and then of course getting second opinions and doing the market research. Now we've shared a lot about how to prevent ourselves or identify some of the scams in the market. What about people who have already been scammed? They got their hands burnt already. What's your advice to them, right? If they're like, oh, they're burnt already, it's like, oh, it's scared to get back into the market and all that. What about them?
We learn from mistakes. If you ask me if you've been scammed, so now is the time you have taken up some experience to know how to look at people, to know how to study where you are supposed to go and learn from, and of course to take up the next step is to make friends or make known to people who you really think you can trust, and from there you get this circle around you so that you can defend yourself from all these other scams coming to you. And after you educate yourself with this proper mentorship program or proper mentors that you are supposed to choose from, equip yourself much more better. That does not mean that you can get scammed. You are just equipping yourself into a higher level so that you can defend yourself better and not getting scammed. Now, I would say as an estate agent for 20 years, negotiator real estate business for 20 years, even I can get scammed. Even I, doing real estate deals, has been cheated or has been undercut or has been played around with by clients before. Of course, that makes me a better agent. That does not tell me that you because you lost a few million ringgit from a deal, that doesn't mean that to show me that I should not be an agent anymore. That actually gives me the motivation to not play the dirty game with those players that is not going to value you in the market. There are customers and clients that will value you. There are people who are planning to cheat you as well. So this is a business game. And coming to the real estate market, yes, there are people who are planning to scam you. There are people good enough to teach you not to be scammed and to be rich with you. But then again, it's your choice to choose. When you choose, you need to do your duty and check. And if you have been scammed before, don't worry. Okay? There's always another opportunity for you to grow and become a better person.
So there's always hope, and then with the proper guidance, you can get back on track. And then I think regardless of how severe it may be, there's always a path to get back on track. I think it's a matter of time, the right guidance and mentorship.
Yeah.
So I mean, we are very fortunate to be able to have you share with us your stories, your experience and guidance, hopefully to bring the overall property investment market to better heights, higher standards, and at the same time, it's a reminder to us, regardless of how knowledgeable we may be, experienced we may be, we must always be diligent, because scammers are always evolving, and we also have to evolve ourselves. So, this is why LT is having his podcast at LT Property Insights. So, what do you think? Have you been scammed before? Share with us your stories in the comments, or maybe you may have known of someone who has been scammed before. Because the more you share your own personal stories or the stories of others, the more that we can raise the awareness within the market and to protect one another. Share with us within the comments, and of course, don't forget to share this video to raise the awareness of your fellow property investors, friends, and family, to protect them. And don't forget to subscribe to LT Property Insights podcast. And of course, stay tuned to the next episode, where we will be diving into other opportunities within the property market, talking about AI property valuation. Will AI replace property valuers or even real estate agents? We'll talk about that.